You should probably get like a bottle of water if you need it.
If I want to just go and get one. No, no.
Alright. Let's see how this looking like on YouTube before. I think we are live, aren't we? Alright. Let's see how this looking like on YouTube before we are. So 3, 2, 1, and I finally announce we are live. Alright. I'm here with my good friend Brandon. He finally changed his
So,
avatar. It looks honestly, I don't know which one works worse, the avatar or the okay, nothing is worse, so the good. Which one looks better? Your face or the Discord logo? Okay, I'm joking. All right, I'm joking. All right. So the first topic of the day, I want to address something I addressed earlier on my channel, right? And that is piracy. Brandon, do you have any experience with piracy? Do you have any experience
oh,
being a pirate and sailing the
oh,
seven seas?
well, we're from the Caribbean, so we have to.
Ah, yes, yes. Alright, well, give me your experience because I have a long list of this one.
Well, I mean, for children growing up, and especially children interested in computers, games wasn't really a priority
Yeah,
where in family. So, like all children, we found workarounds. And the
exactly.
workaround
But not only
was piracy.
children. Not only children does find workarounds, everybody does find workarounds. There's always a loophole. That's why all of those lawyers could make so much money fighting cases for people who are actually convicted and who not actually convicted to get them into what is called penitentiary jail, them kind of business. All right, go along. I hope we don't get a lawsuit for talking about this.
Well, let's see. I mean, I only use piracy to get games because we couldn't afford it, and we also wanted to play it. But nowadays, like looking back on it, we just did it because we wanted to play the games, and we needed to find workarounds.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like if we was really gonna play online, we just want a single player experience.
Well, back
So for me,
then, it didn't really have much online. It was mostly
I mean, there was Halo Online, there was COD Online,
yeah,
uh,
but
there was like all these other multiplayer games. What was it like?
90% of the games nowadays it have an online feature. Don't I am not no mathematician statistics, it's not my strong suit. Let me just say it's 90%. Back then it was the other way around. It had less multiplayer games than single player games. My favorite being like Saints Row and the Telltale games. Oh my gosh. Alright, Brandon, back to you.
Uh, there's much more to say about it than the fact that we wanted workarounds, and the thing about it is, like watching somebody play a game is all good and like watching walkthroughs and things. But playing the game for yourself is a whole different experience. And we don't have 60 US sometimes to burn on a game.
60
And,
US? I don't
and
even have 1 US.
yeah, we don't have like that much money. I mean, if our current exchange is literally like what 6.7 to 1, 6.70 to 1 US. So we would be paying what like $400 a game. Come on, whose parents are gonna be paying that? No one.
It's not even
We
400.
just
We don't even have a credit card to, you know, support our favorite Twitch streamer and be Sims to Pokemon. JK. Alright.
But honestly though, yeah,
Yeah.
honestly though, when I start working and if I start playing games, I'm definitely gonna be buying my games because yeah, I really want to support the people who helped make my teenage years good. Ubisoft,
Definitely.
yeah, Ubisoft, EA, Telltale Games, all these companies, Origin, and uh, yeah, all these companies that really made your teenagers great because of all these good, great games.
Definitely, definitely. I would say my experience is immense. Like, if you go back in the days of my YouTube channel starting it off, you would say, you would see the gamer tag, like the gamer name, and it would be like no Steam or uh what is the rest? I know most of the time it was from no Steam and no Steam, however you pronounce it. And it was back then it was like looked down
No
upon.
Steam. Yeah, no Steam.
Yeah.
I remember the Steam. Yeah.
Back
Starting up, it was like starting up Call and you see from no Steam.
yeah, and Need for Speed and stuff. But back then it wasn't like today that, parents like see that, is something big in this world. I legit watch back then, I actually used to be into Fortnite a little bit. A long time ago. And it had this kid that win like $7 million. I was like, holy crap! And
Yeah,
you would realize that when he talking, he said he plays for 7 to 8 hours a day.
and they
Back
it's
in
basically
my
a joke.
yeah, in my days, YouTube used to be like some not YouTube. Games used to be something looked down at, and teachers would be like, this thing compromising your intellectual ability and taking away time from studies and literate like
Yeah,
if your
clearly
parents
did on me.
if your parents like catch you playing games, they'll like take your laptop or ask you to delete it or stop playing that game. I remember I was going home and I this was the first time I ever get Need for Speed cap. It was like Underground or Most Wanted or something, and I legit playing this in the backseat of my mother van, and I was like, all right, I'm playing that game. Right? She's like, okay, what game? Need for Speed. I was like, nah, that's not a educational game. Don't play that. I was like, all right. I remember times that I would like be acting like if I study in like Form 1 and 2, while I actually just have the laptop like there on the first screen, and like as soon as you walk in, press the pause button and slam down the computer and just like hide it under a pillow or something. Um, I think a few times I just carry my laptop like in the washroom and just sit there to play games and like legit hide my laptop in a cupboard and then come back like afterwards and um they actually find my laptop there and I was playing games. And it was such like it's nothing like how it is today. Kids never really used to like be huge on this gaming scene. I could just imagine how much parents actually spend their money on game skins like these days, because I catch myself watching these things as a 20-year-old and be like, I want to spend some money on this. But I just have to go back to my like what is called this ethics. Is ethics or like the things that you fall back on and be like
Morals.
my
Morals and ethics.
morals and be like, am I really gonna spend money on a free game? No, I can't even spend money on a paid game because if we talk about the topic of piracy and also like this thing with Pirate Bay and the movies and things, it's a good thing to support the artists and people who make it and all of the budget that goes into it. But you need to understand, like, we is not first world consumers, we're like third world consumers. Alright? We can't be like, alright, I making a balance of $0.00 and still be paying for Netflix. I have other expenses to be more worried about, like, you know, university and books. And I'll give you an example. I had to buy a thing. It's like a PLC. It is a microprocessor, and this thing was 30 to 40 US. Not bad. Then I bought the screen with it so I could see what's going on. And that was 60 something US. And a cable, everything come up to a total of 130 US or something, with shipping, FedEx shipping, which was like 30 something US, which is insane. And I get a call when I was by the dentist this morning, and it said your delivery has reached, and it is costing $942 to clear this thing. And I was like, but the thing is like not even $900, and you want me to pay that amount? So, you know, nowadays not much people will know how to do these things. Like, I have friends who don't know how to get around certain stuff, but when I do start working, I would support these people. I'm just saying. You would like to add anything to this, Brandon?
Start working, you would like to support because, I mean, we didn't have no money then. We don't have no money now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna use my money to help support. I mean, my money, my parents' money to help support people when I'm not making money. You know, so
Exactly.
yeah,
You don't want to you don't want to use your parents' money to help support your what's called this, like, leisure as such addiction, such non-necessity. Yeah.
they they are already getting support from like hundreds, if not thousands of people, right? But I mean, like you could always support them, but when you start making your own, that is my takeaway. Support people when you start making your own, but only make sure you support them when you know you can support yourself. Please.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure, 100%. It's looked down on these days, but you know.
It's not really looked down on much these days, you know,
Serious?
because a lot of people see any money in it, and they just want the money. Like if you look at tournaments, millions, tens of millions, if you could win.
Oh
From,
no,
like,
no! I wasn't talking about games. I was talking about piracy.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could get locked up a lot in a lot of places.
Yeah, let me just say where we're from, so you know we'll keep a clean record. You know, like how
We'll
they used to teach
we'll
us
we'll,
that in
we'll
school.
just say we're from the Caribbean. We'll just say we are pirates of the Caribbean.
All right, so you know,
Da-da,
technically we never sold anything. So
I mean, you don't have to sell anything to be a pirate.
all
Just
right,
to buy.
Brandon. All right, I'm not spending any money for the rest of like until I start working, because I broke AF, and this podcast is for fun. This YouTube channel is for fun also, because I make a $0 on this, and if I did make money, I would legit buy donuts for all of us, right? Every single person who watching will get a donut. Even you, Brandon, you'll get 2.
Yeah. Well,
So it had things to look forward for. Alright, next topic, right, is I want to talk about the social media and mental health. In my experience, I would say social media has definitely affected my mental health negatively, to like the extreme that of wanting something. Like when you see people living this glamorous life, you know, sitting down with the beach, by the beach with the fake picture, when you know they're actually just sitting down outside the house in a beach chair, you know what I'm saying? And it's mostly all lies. How I know it's all lies? Because I have done it too. Not the beach stuff, but actually, like, on my status saying that everything is okay and everything is great and on top of the world. What do you have to say about that, Brandon? Because you use social media for at least 4 years of your life.
Uh, I used to use Instagram and Facebook and all of these things, but I started to realize that it was affecting me negatively. So when I saw that, I thought to myself, all right, I needed to cut myself out from it because you would, yeah, I mean, you don't consciously do it, like compare yourself to others, but
Yeah.
subconsciously would you would kind
Yeah.
of like see why their life going better than mine. And
Exactly.
when you don't know what struggles they're going through, they just hiding all that behind whatever pictures they're posting up. You know, like they could just snap a
Exactly.
picture on the phone. They could just be the most miserable person in the world. So as I saw that, I was like, okay, I need to cut it off. The only social media I use is WhatsApp and YouTube. If YouTube is even
Yeah.
considered social media,
Same.
that's like basic because like WhatsApp for communication and then YouTube to learn things and to watch
I
gameplay and
get
all of that, you know?
entertainment. YouTube is like my
Yeah,
main source
exactly.
of entertainment for you all
Exactly.
watching. Like even if I remember having Netflix and not even using it, so technically I did give. No, I didn't give money to these big companies. My parents did, but you know how to say this. Yeah, I this social media thing I think is totally affecting our youth and like what people perceive is a normal
Definitely.
life.
Definitely. Especially not only social media, but I would say movies and
Music.
also uh, music
Yeah.
and also TV shows, like media in general. Because think about it, right? If you're growing up and you always seeing these like love romance stories on TV, but you're always seeing these tropes of like men don't know what the heck they're doing around the house, so woman is the one who always has the answers and all that. Then for most of your life, you're gonna grow up thinking that way, and sad to say, a lot of
Yeah.
people are growing that way. And when they reach into the real world and they think they know what's going on, they get a big shock.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like when I used to listen to like G-Eazy and Halsey, you know, him and I, and you're like watching the video and everything's so perfect, and you expect life to be that way, and everything to synchronize. But that's not really how it is. Everybody does have the ups and downs and stuff like that, you know? It's not like everything is cut dry. It will always have the high times. You won't, you know, feel low. And I think music does literally. I think music does literally poison your mind because you would firstly like think that these behaviors are normal. Like some of the music, you would see that people like smoking, and I don't mean like just casually. I mean like in a literal way of like having like a gang. Like you know who's Adam? I think it's 22 or something. Like them kind of. He's not a music artist, but he's like one of them people. Or I'm not gonna say that, but this whole perception with like rap music that it's so violent in like it's insane, I would say, and we just piping that into our ears. When I used to listen to that kind of garbage, it definitely used to affect my life. I used to be
Mm-hmm.
more aggressive and on edge, and not even thinking situations like critical situations. True. I don't want to get into that right now because that's like a very sensitive big part of my life there, and the person who kind of correlate with that, kind of don't want me to just treat her as just a story, but essentially that is basically everything in my life. Everything in the past is a story. I don't want to look back in the past. I want to keep looking forward and accomplishing new things, right, Brandon? Let me encourage the youth to do something with their life.
Yep. See, and that was a lesson I learned really early with my mom. Uh, I was in school, primary school, and they were playing Black and Yellow, and I didn't know what the song was, so I come home and I was listening to the song and the lyrics and all that. And let's just say my mom found out, and she said something which I always stuck with me. Listen to the words of the song, right? Because what you and let's say also true. What you put in your mind will also go into your heart. Okay, so if you constantly feel in your mind all these trippiness, right? Like money, sex, drugs, violent behaviors and smoking and all of this, then it's gonna affect you in some way. You're gonna go full out, obviously, but it's gonna affect you one way or the other, you know? And from then on, I just every single time I listen to a song, I would always like try to listen to the words and try to understand the intent behind all of it. And if it was something that I found to be, good, then I would listen to them. Um, I mean, you all might say this that he just make love songs, but I personally like some of his songs.
Ed
I really
Sheeran.
like Ed Sheeran songs. Yeah, I really like Ed Sheeran songs. You all might say he only makes happy songs, but honestly, he have some real good songs. A Fire Love and Supermarket Flowers, for example. Those two songs are for his grandmother and grandfather when they both were dying. A Fire Love was for his grandfather, and he finished to write that song on the day that his grandfather died. And then Supermarket Flowers was for his grandmother, and it was Three Eyes of his mother. And you can literally hear the emotion in his voice as he sing the song, right? Songs initially came about through wanted to tell a story. If you look back at some of the older songs, they
Yeah,
told us,
for
right? But
sure.
nowadays all songs are is just the music and some kind of some kind of verse repeated,
Like
some kind of chorus repeated.
like in
Have no,
Trinidad, all of
you
these
know,
let's call this local music like soca and chutney. Everything is just like legit like rum or something at one point.
mm,
Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't actually listen to that garbage. I know people actually
it's
like that music,
and
but
and like
not
yeah, and
for
like
me.
at least for me, it's like hypersexualized, and that is what a lot of the music in the world these days. I don't like that. I don't hypersexual. It just sugarness. Right? Songs with meaning and story is what I like.
You
For example,
remember?
one of Ed Sheeran's sorry to cut you off. One of Ed Sheeran's songs, "A Small Bomb," that was written for his friend who had a miscarriage.
Wow. I'm still not gonna watch him, but remember this song Galaxy was from like Standard 5 or something, and what that was about? Don't sing
I
it.
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember.
Alright, I'm not gonna describe it either. That is not for
Good.
our audience.
Good.
Alright. I think we daily saturated that point right there, but I just want to nail it home. Every time I listen to rap music, Eminem, them kind of stuff, it always alters my behavior. I'll tell you one thing I did, right? And I was like in a real bad mood after like, let me say, a massive, catastrophic disassembly of a friendship. And I remember as soon as my father changed the oil in the X6, he was like, alright, go and take it for a drive. And I legit put this thing in like sport mode and mash out. Now, in Trinidad, most of the vehicles slow. So comparing saying that the X6 fast in Trinidad it is. In Germany it is not. You know, them have like the Porsche and the Lamborghini and G-Wagon, Mercedes, all them fancy things. But in Trinidad, it's kind of a, like, in my opinion, the fastest vehicle I ever drive. And in like a short distance, in a very rough road, I think I reached like 140 or something. And it's just like right after he had changed the oil. Now that could I hear that could damage the seals in the engine. At that time I didn't really care, I was pumping this garbage into my ears. Like, yeah, I could do anything I want, But thinking about that back then, it's not something I would do back again, because as like his pride and joy, he legit the man worked for like, his entire life, and then now buy like a somewhat of a fancy vehicle. Alright, let me move on to like the last point here. I want to talk about our perspective on these new phones. Now I have a normal phone. I have a Galaxy S10. I pretty happy with this. I would never, if I had the latest iPhone right now or the latest Android device, it would not affect my life in any way. But we have a computer scientist here, right? This man does analyze the specs and actually care if a processor 1.5 times faster and stuff. So let me hear your perspective on these new phones. I actually hype for the OnePlus Nord because it's cheap, and that's a good direction for the market to go in.
So, before we get into all of that, we have to understand where the market is right now. Right now, all of the companies, or most of the companies, are making these flagship S phones that are in the upper range of price, between like $700 and $1,000, $600 and $1,000, right? Actually, around $700 and above, right? So when you look at these price ranges, you're seeing things like the OnePlus 8 Pro and the OnePlus 8. You're seeing things, not the OnePlus 8. You're seeing things like the S10, the S20, the S20 Plus, the Note 20, which, mind you, has a plastic back, or a plastic back. I think it's a plastic back, and goes for 1,000 USD.
What? The Note 20 has a plastic back?
Yeah.
The Note 20, WTF?
Yeah, the Note 20 Plus is the one that has a glass back. And
that
goes for
must be a joke that you're telling me there.
Nope. And from, like, it have this guy that watch on YouTube. I think it's Z-Tech, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like an Asian fella.
Yeah, he checked it out. He checked the Note 20 and say that how the glass stick that is used on the A series actually feels better than what they use on the Note. So you might have a mid-range phone and have a better feel than a $1,000 phone. What sense that make?
You still have your screen protector? Because as soon as I get my phone, I peel that off.
Oh no, I just leave it on for a while. By the way, I also bought a phone recently. I have the A71, and the reason why, Josh, is because it also has, this one has an in-display fingerprint scanner. So like, I want to ensure that I have some money to go and get the what you call it, screen protector again, the tempered glass that has the whole cutout for the screen, for the fingerprint scanner. But until then, I'll leave it as is until I could go and do all of that. Anyways, getting back to it. So
yeah, I would say, for you, it's probably a good idea, but for me, I just want a phone that does feel good, and any screen protector just take away from the experience. When you bite the phone, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah, so so that's the direction and the market has been heading to in the last couple of years. And that's the direction that OnePlus has been heading for a while with their phones. If you check it, the OnePlus has been getting more expensive as the years go by, with the most recent ones being called actual flagships now, right? So OnePlus now wanted to bring back competition to the mid-range, but before they were doing that, the mid-range was already heating up into the competition with Oppo, Vivo, Pocophone, all of these other brands just competing heavily in the mid-range market. And then you had Google coming with the A lineup, which was like what, 400 US, I think it was, with the
Pixel
3A.
A, yeah.
And
Was the
yes,
premium
and
one?
it was the Pixel 3. Right now, I
Oh,
think is the
okay.
Pixel. Yeah, the Pixel 3 and the 3 XL was the one with the bathtub notch. That was just horrible. But yeah, so they came out with the 3A, which basically it was a very good camera and a not that expensive phone. And the experience that I heard was it was pretty okay. So the mid-range market started to heat up. And then after Apple released their iPhone SE2, right? Which kind of started up again, competition in the mid-range because they gonna have a hold on the upper end, keeping their premium status, but at the same time getting some market share in the mid-range, which also is working because a lot of people are jumping from Android to Apple because the price is right.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, there's the OnePlus Nord, there's the Pixel 3a,
I want to
sorry,
just
yeah,
say
Pixel
something
Pixel
here.
3a,
And
yeah.
I don't know how old the iPhone 10 is now. It's probably coming like 3 or 4 years old. But I
Uh,
used it, right? My mom has it, and I was like, you know, I really used to hype this brand up for being like very fluid and fast. But I don't know if she had like a ton of stuff open or the phone was just slower than mine. And I have like an ancient Samsung, S10. I don't know when it came out. A long time ago. It had the S20 and now the Note 20 now. So I I I don't know. Okay, I know for sure of one thing. Comparing an iPhone to a cheap Android phone is the iPhone would win, but compared to like a premium one, I think Android has it. Like unless it's stealing my data, and well, there's not much to steal. What exactly they get from me? They want my GPA, they want my university login. I don't know. Probably they just want my selfies. We don't go there. Alright? Alright, you can continue there, Brandon. Also, what happened to Nokia? Nokia don't make phones anymore?
Yeah,
Serious? That's my favorite
yeah.
brand.
They made a phone really, but I can't remember what it is because honestly, their phone's not that memorable these days. They're trying, but they really have no foothold in the market anymore. So yeah, like whenever I hear about a Nokia phone, it is always oh cool. I remember them. Back to the actual phones now.
Nokia.
But
I remember BlackBerry. BlackBerry used to be a big thing, right?
I with BBM and all that direction, and the market has been heading to in the last couple of years. And that's the direction. But yeah, so there's the OnePlus Nord, the Pixel 4a, and the iPhone SE, the 2019 or 2020. Yeah, I think it was 2019. Anyways, so those three phones now are now heating up the mid-range market. And on top of that, you have phones from like Oppo and Vivo, and Pocophone going to release a new phone soon. The
Yeah, the
Pocophone 2,
Pocophone one was out of this world.
it was no, but the tactic they use is lose a little bit of money on this phone and sell it for a cheap price, so that you get a name for yourself and you get a foothold in the market, and then
Yeah.
you slowly increase the price as you go along. Same
Isn't
thing with
that what
OnePlus.
OnePlus, eh? We on the same page.
Yeah, yeah, same thing with OnePlus did. And then after once you have a good foothold, then it could come back to the mid range. That looked like that is what OnePlus and it looked like that is what OnePlus was doing all this time. Because OnePlus was the after Vivo, they were the first people to introduce the in-display fingerprint scanner. They were one of the first people to also introduce the motorized camera. The first company to introduce the 90 hertz screen, the refresh rate screen.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
yeah, and they continually go in. I think it's either up. I think it's Oppo gonna release a phone soon. I think it's next year or late this year with that in-display camera. And next year, Samsung's gonna follow suit with the S21 being an in-display camera.
S21. That's the best
Yeah,
name
me
they could come up
personally.
with. Oh, God.
I mean, it works. It works. New decade. It works.
Alright, to go from like the S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7, S8, S9, S10. Then
And
there's
S20.
like
They did it. They did it.
S20.
Yeah, they did it because it's not changing in a decade.
For real? Alright, well, we'll give them a pass then. Just because it's a change
Yeah,
in the
because
decade, right?
yeah, they just following along with the changing in a decade.
Am I the only one that remember the S3 ad where it had a spider on the phone and like the other guy tried to kill it? That wasn't for. That was. Alright, then.
The original,
too.
just now the original the original
Yeah.
Galaxy Edge, the
That
original
was.
Galaxy Edge had one waterfall edge.
That was 8 years ago, remember? Like, and I don't know if it
And
had something with Gorilla Glass, but like, I remember the ad with that. I was like, talking to my father, and he was like, he gonna buy one, and I was like, you're not gonna buy one. He actually never bought one. He's not a big phone person. He's one of them old school people that don't actually care about the phone. I guess that's where I get that from. I don't really care about my phone. Once I could talk to people on WhatsApp and watch YouTube videos and have all of my university business on lockdown, like, I have a ton of storage on my phone. Probably not like compared to like what out nowadays, how people like have crazy amounts of storage on their iPhone and stuff, but I have like 256 gigs on my phone, and that is more than enough for an electrical engineering student to store all the PDFs, all the documents, all the lectures, every single thing. You don't need to worry about it, right? All the music, all the pictures, I could store it on that. That is enough for me. I don't know what's enough for Brandon. He might need, 2 terabytes to store all of his personal stuff. What do you have to say about that? Give me a comment.
Well, me personally, I kind of like want to get submerged in tech as much as possible. So
Would you consider implants?
yes, I
Oh
actually
my
would.
god. Alright.
I would like implants, but not in a third world country.
You're gonna be like Cyberpunk. You know that? You'll be
Boy.
the first generation of the Cyberpunk
Nah, I would be the
thing.
first because what I like to do is I like to wait for technology to mature first and then go and get it. So with the in-display fingerprint scanner, right? This was released, if I remember correctly, 2 or 3 years ago. And I waited up till now to get it because I really wanted the technology to mature a little bit. I would have waited like 4 or 5 more years because I would have liked to get a phone with that in-display camera and let that technology to mature for like 3 to 4 years before I get one. But I was upgrading and I was like, you can't get away from a notch, you can't get away from a hole punch. If you want to go full screen, the newer phones coming out full screen. If you want, you could get OnePlus 7T Pro, which has a motorized camera, which is just amazing. But other than that, you can't really get a good full screen phone. So, I could just wait for the next 5 years. Flip this phone for around this I paid to the 800, I think. If I could get for the most 2,000 bits, I'll be happy.
How long do you
Good.
plan to wait till they flip it? Because
I will wait for the
Yeah.
in-display camera technology to
Give
mature.
me a
And I,
amount of years, and I'll say if
so
your expectation are realistic.
if they if Vivo release it this year and Samsung release it next year, I will wait, inclusive of next year, 4 to 5 years, and that is realistic.
You expect to sell your phone 4 to 5 years for $2,000?
Nah,
Are
the
you
reason why I go
joking?
the reason why I'm going 2000 is because we get haggle down. That is how it works. You know, you're selling it, okay, what? Haggle down. You're still gonna get as much as you have to get.
I was in this marketplace thing before, right? Okay, my S7 is like 4 to 5 years, right? You'd say that?
S7, I
Yeah.
think so. 8, 9, 10, yeah.
Now my father have my S7, right? But I have seen ads for S7. And now, okay, the highest these ads is for is like probably $800 to $900. You usually see them for like $700. And this phone costs like $4,700 TT dollars
At the
new.
time, yeah. At the
Uh,
time. No, but the reason why I'm saying that is because yeah, when I went, I wanted to buy the S9 initially, and the S9 is only what it only come out last year.
yeah.
Sorry, not the S9.
No, that come a long
The
time.
S8 come out 2 years ago. The S8 come out 2 years ago, right? Because the S20 come out this year, and then the the S10 last year, the S9 year before, and the S8 year before, right? So I was thinking, all right, it wouldn't be more than 4,000. When I went, the S8 was still 4,300,
Nah, they were
and the
pretty
S
off. How much was
yeah, and
for
the S9 was
S10?
49.
How much was
Huh?
for S10?
I think like 5,000 plus.
What?
Yeah, and when I
they're
checked
robbing
around,
ya.
yeah, when I check around, it was around that price. Like cheaper, obviously, but like only by a couple,
Oh,
1, 2, 300. So I
Brandon,
was like,
I
wait,
pay,
since when Samsung phones holding their value so
I
much?
pay 5,500 for this phone. I think about 5,500. Like, when was grads? Like a year ago.
Like a year ago, yeah, a year ago.
A year ago, and this thing's still selling for 5,000. That must be a joke. Nah, they're
Check
robbing
it.
ya.
Check it and see. Yeah, check it and see.
No, I didn't pay more than 6,000. It's like, I think like 5,300, between 53 and 55. I didn't pay plenty money for it.
Let me get the Amazon price for it, right. The S10 Amazon price, you could get it for $750 US. Let's look at the Plus version.
Yeah, that's like realistic. I think the plus was like 1,000. When did it now come out? I don't know these phone prices, alright? I'm not a geek.
The S10 is 750. The S10 Plus is 800 US.
Alright,
That's the
and
128.
when it was new.
Right. Just now that's 750 to TT. 750
Well,
US
you can't
to
check that
TT.
so,
Sorry.
you know, because I buy
No, I
something
know,
for
I know,
100
But
US.
that's
I buy
no,
something.
I know, but
Yeah.
just with that price on Amazon with all shipping and anything, right? It's already 5,000.
Well, I am very proud of my investment. Like a year now, this phone has treated me well. I did not regret spending this small fortune because clearly it's still worth something. That I find that amazing. And iPhones just hold the value crazy, but like recently,
Amazingly well.
what I noticed is you could get an iPhone 10, 8, them kind of stuff for like 2,000 to 3,000, which is like way less. But them phones is like 3 to 4 years old. People don't realize that. They like see iPhone as like, whoa, that's such a good price. But when you actually check, these phones are actually really old. And you know, iPhone is kind of like, you know, this updated and stuff. They just last a long time. But it's still an old phone. I don't want an old phone. I want a new phone. I lie. I good with my phone. But I'm just saying, if I had to buy a phone, I'm not buying a phone that's 3 to 4 years old. I'm gonna buy a new phone.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you want those updates and you want to, make sure you get the most out of the phone and all of that.
Yeah.
So that's why I said my one 2000 max. Right?
I
Because
would
right
be
now,
hopeful.
this phone, the Samsung A71, right?
3800.
That was launched last year December. Um, let me just get back the price.
How
I
much
think
you
for the
pay for
sale.
it? How much you pay?
That's not. If it
Okay, it's not
if
a hard question, Brandon. How much you pay? Really?
the paid 3800.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Let
Mhm.
me check my link on Trinity Tuners quickly if you guys really
I
want to
think
know.
you paid. I think you paid 30. For you, it's 33 on 22.
Yeah, I just check Trinity Tuners when I feel like it. It's a good place if
Yeah,
you
but
live in
that was
Trinidad.
used or not?
No, it was new. It was new, and it's actually deliver and everything. I got free what's called this thing? Free 64 gig micro SD card when I buy my S6, and I just give it to my father, and I take the one I had before from the S7. Um,
Yeah. So with the Amazon pricing, this is the cheapest I found.
3300.
Yeah, but the cheapest I found was 2600 TT. But that is for the that's for the 128 gig version. That's the cheapest I found.
Holy crap! The S10 is five. It's 5,000. It only going on like for like 300
Yeah,
or $500.
yeah.
But Brandon, you could have buy a S10 or you'd have be twins.
Nah, my parents didn't want me to go about five. I mean, maybe 5'4".
But I never give you a story. Never give you a story. I remember. I don't know if to save it. Alright, I'll save this, right? But when I was in Form 1, I had the S1. That phone cost real plenty money at the time. Like, at that time, buying a phone for over $3,000 was like insane. That was like
Good of,
like
good of.
mind explosion, kind of insane because iPhone was like $3,000 at that time, and people didn't really like know about smartphones. If you wanted to go on WhatsApp, Facebook, and stuff, well, not WhatsApp. People never use WhatsApp. They use Facebook SMS.
BBM. They use BBM.
Yeah, they use BVM and SMS. I was so much bad memories from that time, but let me just not talk about that right now. If this podcast gets 6 likes again, I'll talk about it. All right, I'll talk about it because that's how much it got last time. So, any closing words, Brandon? Anything you want to say to your peeps here who viewing this podcast?
If you're gonna buy a device in the future, you should learn about what the specs are, so you wouldn't get ripped off. Because it's gonna be something that a lot of people are gonna get ripped off in the future when it comes to this.
I want to say something about that, right? I don't think specs matter. I think experience matters. So,
No, definitely.
watch reviews.
Definitely it does. But at least learn how to compare specs, because then that way now, if you're somebody asks you about these two phones, off the top of your head, you can have a good idea of what one phone could offer over the other. But obviously, if you want to have a good comprehensive idea, reviews are leaving. If you're in the store
I
and
recommend
you want
Dave
to compare
today.
phone that you're thinking of buying to another phone, and you know the specs, you don't even have to go to a review really to compare them, but you could still do.
I find iPhones just feel good though. Like, it feels so balanced and so heavy in your hand. I would buy an
Remember,
iPhone one day.
they designed their phones And so they design their products in such a way that it have a premium look, premium feel, and although it's not the most powerful like computers, for example, the
Aren't their phones like the most
feel
powerful though, like
the,
with the
no,
processors?
not iPhones. They're not iPhones. They're laptops,
Nah. Don't buy a
right?
what's called
Uh,
this? Do not buy a Macintosh. What's called the laptop?
a MacBook, a
Don't buy
MacBook,
a MacBook, right? We watch enough
a MacBook. Yeah.
Lewis what's the YouTube?
Louis Rossman.
We watch enough Lewis Rossman not to buy a MacBook, okay?
Yes,
Don't buy a
yes,
MacBook, please.
yes.
It
Don't
would
even buy a Chrome.
break.
Just buy a laptop and install Linux.
I
That
agree
is
with
all.
that. Unless like a
Yeah.
university demands Windows,
No,
go
no,
with
but
Linux.
the reason why I brought up laptops was because the trackpad, the speakers, and the hinge is second to none in the industry. The trackpad is made of
Wait,
glass.
wait,
If I remember
what?
correctly, the trackpad is made of glass and has the best feel, and also is also the biggest trackpad in the industry. Its speakers is industry leading. Right now, they literally have
I would agree to
studio
that.
grade. Huh?
I would agree that
The speak-
MacBooks speakers are amazing.
Yeah, their microphones are literally studio grade quality. Like,
MacBook? You talking about
Yeah.
You didn't watch Linus Tech
Yeah,
Tips of the new MacBook?
Hmm?
You didn't watch Linus Tech Tips of the new MacBook?
Tips.
The webcam and the
Yeah,
microphone
but-
was garbage.
No, not the webcam. The webcam on the XPS, I think, finally got upgraded.
You
But the
talk- wait,
webcam on-
You're talking
no,
about
just now,
the MacBook or the
Yes,
XPS?
just now.
Which
just
one
now,
you talking
I
about?
Just now. I
No,
brought the
alright,
XPS.
you're wasting people's
Wait,
time
wait.
by saying just now. Just say
Wait.
what you have to say.
Well, let me see.
Just say it.
Well, let me say it. The reason why I brought up XPS was because all computer webcams beside XPS this year has finally been has been trashed. The reason why I say XPS is because now we can compare it to them. MacBook webcams are horrible. The mic is amazing. They have a mic array. Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
you should check it out. Yeah, you should check them out.
I watch
You
a
should check out their arrays. The mic array on their new MacBook, like the MacBook Pro, is amazing. Like literally amazing. Jonathan, what's his name? Jonathan what on YouTube? Literally recorded a song with one of his friends who's a singer, and it sounded amazing with nothing but the MacBook.
I don't know what happened to my desktop, but like it freaked out and everything inverted. It insane.
Control window and the arrows, I think, so you can get turn back into the different landscapes.
That like
control-
it seriously messed up. I just restarted as soon as I end the podcast. I don't know what's going
No,
on.
what you can do is pull up Task Manager, open our Windows Explorer, and restart the Windows Explorer. That would restart your desktop.
I don't know how to like. All right, after the podcast, I'll do that.
No, okay. So the webcam on all computers beside the XPS this year has been shit, but their mics is one of the best in the industry. And the way that Apple designs their things, if you look at from the packaging to the way that they just present their products to the feel of everything, it's all to get an idea of premium in your head. Right? The biggest trackpad in the industry, lead in class. The speakers in the industry, lead in class on a laptop. The mic array on a laptop, lead in class.
All
The
right.
things that they could do
I want to leave a
is the
comment. I want to leave a
the-
comment for everybody else, right? Everybody else who watching this, who, first of all, don't have more than $1,000 US to spend on a laptop. Those of you who already have a laptop and love it and do even care about upgrading, you are the MVPs, alright? You are the people who most people will strive to be. You guys are the people who have achieved true happiness and don't care about new upgrades. You are the real people, and I'm talking about people like Krishna, because apparently, I don't know if you saw the same laptop, but I don't think it matters. He's
No, I
he's the
mean,
OG.
there's also
Wait,
there's also an argument.
Suren. Suren getting a shout out. That man does play all the games he does play on his laptop. Nah, Shankar, I have a new laptop.
You can also make an argument that ignorance is bliss.
No. Don't start with that. Don't start with that. I could use
No,
my
if
laptop.
if you don't know that they are better out there and you don't know how much better it is compared to yours,
Brandon,
ignorance is bliss.
let me tell you something, right? I want you to listen to me carefully.
Mhm.
I am very lucky to have this razor blade
Mhm.
stealth. But the man who does control all of the PLCs in Point Lisa's, the man, there's literally pay for him to come from India to do this. Who does do all of the actual programming for the ammonium plant. You know how much programming that is, Brandon? That's like insane. You know, alright, he wasn't in electrical, but we basically went to where my father does work, right? And
Hey,
as far as your eye could see is basically industrial plant. And this man does go and program these things that now if something fail, everybody just gonna die, right? It's just gonna have catastrophic meltdown. You see what happened in
Hiroshima.
it's not Hiroshima.
Maybe Hiroshima. Isn't it my second by?
It's not Syria, you know, it's some other place. But the thing that's all over YouTube with the massive explosion. That was with fertilizer.
Oh, you don't want Syria. You
That
don't want
is
Syria.
that wasn't Syria. I can't look it up.
The one that happened this year? This month?
Yeah, massive X.
Yes, Syria. Syria.
I think I see Belarus or something, you know.
Mm.
Beirut. Where Beirut is.
In Syria.
But never just confirm this.
Also, before we continue, just note we are nitpicking, and once the computer fits in your needs, stick with it. Okay? Do not buy something thinking it will make things better when all you're doing is just going on the internet and watching videos and replying to emails.
Alright, I don't
If
know
you-
where Beirut is,
If
but
you need the power, then upgrade. But if the computer's fitting your needs right now, as well as your phone, do not bother.
you see
I
what
think
Brandon
that's
said
what
already?
I agree
I agree with that because
Hold
the main man, now this man is probably make like plenty money,
Uh,
like probably, I don't want to guess, it's too much, and he just use like a old Dell, like the battery don't even keep charge, and he does be doing like the most amazing craziness on this thing. So if he could do that, I could clearly get your engineer with my little razor blade stealth. And plus, I streaming off it right now. I doing legit everything off of this laptop, and it not unless I'm playing games, it's not that much worse than my desktop that has, you know, a GTX 1070, i7 Intel processor, 16 gigs of RAM. I wouldn't know, alright? It does the same thing. It probably even works faster because all the internal storage is just like the fastest SSD you could have probably get at that time. Because what Razer does do, they just like put like the best that they can at the time. That's why most of it does just break.
Oh, before I
Yeah,
continue,
Syria. Sorry there, Brandon.
Right.
Syria.
I'm going live. Right, so you have you seeing me there, right?
No, it's a watch stream.
I went live. Yeah, I went live.
Alright. Well, I didn't really know you was
You're on my
gonna.
video, right? Come video, right? Live?
Tell me what. All right. Let me just.
Good one.
We're
Good
gonna
one.
end after this. All right. I don't want this to be too long. Yeah, I'll
Ah,
look it up.
this one. Long. So this is it here. This is Beirut here. Right?
And then the world could see all of your business, you know.
I think then Lebanon and
Yeah,
then Syria.
yeah, I see it. I see it. I'll look it up just now.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's in Lebanon, because this look like a border here. So
Hey,
it is in
Brandon.
Lebanon.
Brandon, you should probably
Mid
take it
Lebanon.
off
Yeah.
because you have like God of War and 1, 2, 3 movies up there. You know, you're like confirming that we you're confirming
pirates.
piracy. All right, guys.
Pirates.
I think this will be the end of the podcast. Honestly, I cannot believe we actually like did this for an entire hour. That's like totally amazing. For you guys who stick and watch here, there aren't any comments, but if you leave comments on this video, I'll actually answer all of them because first of all, it is not gonna be many of them, so I'll answer all of them. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Signing out from my perspective. Brandon, anything you have to say?
As long as it fit your needs, do not upgrade.
Yeah, I agree with that. Alright, guys. Later.